What's up guys, continuing on with Crimson Moon's Fairy Tale, I have Dracula Demonic one for today's deck profile. Dracula has always been a really iconic ruler, everyone's been using him since the beginning till now. He's just really great, and with Regalia I think he's even better. I think the swiftness lets him attack into stuff really early unexpectedly and lets you steal stuff, while still being able to use Excalibur to target attack steal stuff. So it's really awesome to see how the Regalias could change his deck so much, so let me show you my list. For the Magic Stones, I'm running one Group Glesta because I have Flames in here and I think they combo very well. 4 Magic Stone of Scorched Bales for red-black. I was going to run some mono red stones, but I decided just to go with 5 mono stones of just black because I do have 2 splits in here and a decent amount of fire spells, but I don't mind tapping over 4 stones in this deck. A lot of Dracula decks kind of try to stop around 3 and 4 and just kind of go for the win, but the deck has a lot of control, specifically just controlling their hand, and I don't mind having to overextend my stones to be able to do that because once you deactivate Dracula after their hand is pretty low, they still have to use so many resources to get over it, especially if you have Regalias pumping his defense and attack. So I didn't mind having to do some extra digging for Firestones if I'm really just being unlucky and not hitting 2 at once. But yeah, I'm totally fine with having just 4 red. For the Resonators, I decided to go with the same Cthulhu engine I've been using for most dark decks. I have 3 Rasputins and 2 Mozarts. I find it really important to use these because it offers extra removal. If you can get off Mozart, Rasputin into Naya combo, you not only get a card out of their hand, but you can also deactivate because you send something from their field to the graveyard. So Mozart's really good in this deck. For Laura, also just a quick note on Mozart, if you were to sack it for Leviathan to recover, that's such an easy way to get a J-Activate off, so I love being able to do that as well. So for Laura, of course, searches your vampires. For Naya, this is extremely important because, like I said, I want to insanely control their hand because going through a Dracula with no hand is just extremely impossible, and it's really frustrating for that other player, and it's nice to know you can just control them fully while swinging for so much damage. And with Dracula, the one kind of plus side you have is even if they have a decent amount of flyers in their deck, like even if there's like Guivers, you're stealing them anyway, so you don't really miss out to be able to block, and you don't have to sack for Imperishable, which is great. And then 2 Haster. I didn't want too many because I do have 4 Carmilla. I'm totally fine with running only 8 Vampires in the deck. I have more sided if I need it, but I think just 4 Lauras and 4 Carmillas is enough. And you can always just mulligan for the Lauras, which leads into all the other Vampires, and use hand control to get them down, and then use Dracula to start swinging, and they're just not going to be able to catch up. For the spells, I'm running only 3 of the Demon Sword and 3 of Excalibur. I didn't find it necessary to have more than 3 of each because I don't technically have to see this early game, and seeing it mid game is just as fine. The only real reason Excalibur is so good is because of the target attack, but the only real things you need to be worrying about is stuff like maybe a Hamlin or Guiber and stuff like that. Stuff that just have really big bodies and decent effects, or just stuff like Guiber's flying and has a really big body. So being able to target attack those is great, but it's not something you're going to encounter extremely quickly. And so I don't mind only having 3 and 3 and having to kind of wait for them to come. I'd rather have a really good hand of, you know, maybe access to Naya or Spiral really early on, and then draw into an Excalibur mid game when I'm ready to J-Activate. And since it costs 0, it doesn't really mess with my low stone count anyway, and so it would be fine. 4 Thunders, extremely self-explanatory, lets you J-Activate as well. 3 Flames, same as Thunder, just hits harder. 2 Stoning to Death, extra removal. I just find it really necessary to be able to J-Activate as soon as I can. Not specifically as soon, I'm sorry, just as often as I would want to. I never want to have a turn where I can't J-Activate, so I wouldn't specifically J-Activate early if I didn't feel the need to, but I want access to it every turn if I can. And then 4 Spiral of Despair. Like I said, I love controlling their hand because the less cards they have, the less answers they have to Dracula, so this is just great. And 2 Split Heaven and Earth just in case they do somehow get rid of Dracula and you're having some trouble J-Activating again. This is another win condition you can kind of seek out. For my side deck, I'm running 2 Vampire Servant. Only 2 I think is okay because you can search it with Laura. If you're going as something that has a lot of target removal, this is really good in general to have. 2 Cinderella because it helps wipe against stuff that has a lot of ramps, stuff like Gretel's and Cheshire's, maybe Green Grim, even just cards that use a lot of just regular green. If they have Green Cats and Gretel's and Elvish Priests, you can sack 2 Resonators and just clear everything. 2 Vampire Staff. There's no specific deck I like using this against. I mean, it is decent against stuff like Bahamut and Vlad because you do get to heal, but there's just this weird amount of pressure I've liked about this card that it applies. It kind of always kind of eats a Thunder. And I like that it does that, so I just wanted to run 2 in the side just in case. 1 Arya, just in case, like I said, if I'm going against it, it has a lot of target removal, I'd side into Vampire Servants and Arya because I want to be able to get my lures back, which give me more access to Carmilas. I don't want them to be just continuously killing all of my vampires and me not having any to deactivate, so I decided to run just 1 Arya. Susanoo, just of course for dragons, it's good against Gwyber and Bahamut and whatever. 1 Rapid Decay, 1 Duel of Truth, and 1 Crime and Punishment. I didn't want to run too many red spells on the side, and I do have a couple more coming up, so I figured I would just run 1 of each of these if I needed it. 2 of the Volcano, really good against Vlad, and 2 Dark Pulse, which pretty much kills the entire meta, so I like having Dark Pulse in all of my dark decks. So thanks for watching, guys. If you guys do have any questions or suggestions, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. If you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, make sure you do, because I have 3 more deck profiles coming this week. We're starting to see some spoilers, and that's really awesome. I'm going to be kind of doing recaps of all the different plays that we might be seeing once I see more spoilers. I don't want to specifically do one on every single ruler that comes out. I'd rather kind of see what the Resonators are going to be that might go with those rulers and kind of give brief explanations of what I think the future of Enforceable is going to be. So I'm going to wait up on the spoilers, so maybe after CMF, just so we can see a bit more. But once again, if anyone gets Arla, let me know as soon as possible and you'll get the biggest shout out ever. I'll literally just like scream your name for like at least 30 seconds or something, because I'm so hyped for Arla. And yeah, so I will definitely catch you guys next time, and take care till then.